there's a story that recently came out that I covered. I don't know if you guys heard of No Rest for the Wicked.
Yes.
Yeah.
That game looks fire, I will admit.
No, it ain't just look. The game is fire.
It's an action RPG, Dark Souls style gameplay, but with like Diablo kind of isometric view.
Sick.
But apparently, so they had an employee there that was running his mouth. I think the guy's name is Alexander Brazzi or something like that. And he was trying to go down the whole DEI rabbit hole and basically say how it's important, blah blah blah, and just shill for it essentially, and was giving his company a bad rep, and a lot of people were reporting on it, myself included. Well, come to find out, the CEO said, no, fuck that, and shit like this gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
So the CEO for No Rest for the Wicked goes by the name Thomas Mahler, which I think this is the guy that commented on my YouTube channel, but I don't know if that's true. Apparently he fired the guy.
Awesome.
And he fired him.
Awesome.
He fired him beforehand. And unfortunately, this guy is still running his mouth. What happened?
Preemptive fire.
You still need based CEOs. 100%.
Yeah, this guy, Alexander. Sorry, go ahead. If you were running.
No, I was going to say, if I was running the parent company that owns Kotaku at this point, I'd just clean house, for example. Just the whole lot.
Yeah, but you'd have nobody left at that point. I mean, it's fucking, you might as well just get rid of Kotaku.
That's it. I'd close the company. Yeah, I'd just be like, fuck this.
Well,
you guys
see,
are nothing but trouble.
Geo Media, shut down Kotaku, just hire us, and just have Saturday Night fucking hypnosis.
Damn, can you finish articles?
This is a totally different thing, though. Because with Kotaku, I think Kotaku is just way too far gone, right? But this you can kind of get the idea that it's not too far gone by the way the CEO is speaking, where he essentially said he fired him. Okay, this person's not affiliated with Moon Studios in any way whatsoever anymore, and he said we contracted him for a short stint, and he was fired for bringing nothing but friction into our team. Just an FYI. So that team, unfortunately hired one person who was drinking the Kool-Aid, and they got rid of the rot before the rot took over. That's kind of like how I'm seeing this. So that shit kind of gives me hope. You know what I mean? Like there's some studios out there, they may not be AAA studios, which is fine. Not everything got to be AAA. I find a lot of AA games good, but it's good to see a studio say, oh shit, this person is not all there in the head, or they're not looking out for the product first, which I think a lot of these activist community managers and activist fucking developers and everything, they're not looking at the product first. They're worried about their message first. And if you get in the way of their message, then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. So I'm happy to see that they got rid of the guy before it became an issue.
You need to create your authority from something, and if you don't have a skill, you try to build it based on your personal influence on people, trying to indoctrinate them with some level of ideology. Because otherwise you don't have the purpose in the company in general. So you need to create this whole thing to define your personality and define your relationship and define your place in the company. I mean, and this is what they do exactly. But this process typically produces a lot of friction, because people don't generally like it. I mean, and people, and it also presumes a definite level of dividing people in between each other. If you have noticed, all of these people that are running the same narrative, they're like, it's either you're with us or you're against us, and it always happens.
They are so standoffish like that. They constantly have that attitude. If you're not part of the solution, as they define it, of course, only they define it that way, then you are part of the problem and you need to be wiped out, suppressed, marginalized, eradicated, whatever.
Yeah, it's an extremist mindset.
It is, and then they call us the extremists. Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have like I said, for them, message is number one above anything else. And when you have these people who, unfortunately, like Alec was saying, it seems like a lot of these women are in some form of community management relationship, or just managers in general, controlling HR, PR. Who really knows? Basically, people relations. When you have these women who are in charge of that. In this case, it was a man, but let's be real, 95% of them are women. When you have these people who are all for the message first, it can get very, very bad for your company very quickly, because what's going to happen is the people that you hire to foster a community, they're going to do the opposite. If that community that they're fostering is not believing the message they're trying to put out, yeah, you're gonna have a problem, and they're gonna cause the problem. Like
I think the real problem is, to be honest with you, too many of these video game companies is out there in California. The problem, like you,
Canada,
but on multiple fronts, it is in that realm, especially when you talk about entertainment. It's much easier to hire somebody than it is to fire somebody, because if you fire somebody, you're dealing with like a potential lawsuit or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Out here in Georgia, y'all need to come out here to Georgia, man. We fire niggas when we wake up in the morning. Like we wake up, I think I'm gonna fire somebody today. Like it's an at-will stay. Like I'll be firing people left and right. Oh, you trying to put the message over our product? Like, and this is what feed families. That's the thing you got to think about. Your product, your business, you got a lot of people under you that gotta feed their family. So if you working for not Shift Up, but the Arrowhead right now, and you're flying high, everybody getting bonuses because Helldivers is killing it, and then Sony come out here and fuck around and find out, now you got to go and lay people off, because
But it's also Californian, like business is basically like, if you are like in games or related in California, it means that you took a lot from the fucking Hollywood, just automatically. You took a lot of practices from fucking Hollywood practices. And one of the Hollywood practices is, interestingly enough, fucking people on money, especially tourists, right? Like signing as well. Like you get them in, they build an office, and you start to rack up the prices, play the game, and just do your own shit. Of operating Californian law and just mindset, and then you have bad shit happen, and people who participate in this whole gig, they just finish it and then go somewhere else to take someone else's money. So they're not even get upset, like in general.
It's hideous.
Good, Will.
No, just the Hollywood practices. They also have like clicks and whisper networks and all of that bullshit, which is also what's found its way into everything now, every facet of entertainment, including gaming. But again, we're not normies. We can see this stuff.
What's funny? I mean, like, and Hypnotic mentioned it. Like from the point of view of that they're losing power. Like all of this access parts of it, all of this whispers and stuff and shit, it's just completely fucking irrelevant at this point. Because previously it used to be, we'll start to write bad shit about you and never get invited into awards and shows and conferences and dinners and stuff. And now you're like, well, fucking thanks God, because like that shit was always boring. I mean, like, and now it's not that even something ever decided that. I have a quick question for all of you in the chat. Can you like give me one case when you bought the game because it won some fucking game award or something?
Nope.
No one did.
No, literally never. No,
not true. I've done it one time. Back when I was like in mid high school when Fallout 3 came out, and I was very unfamiliar with the Fallout games, and because I saw, now it wasn't because it won Game of the Year, but the Game of the Year edition was like, I was like, it's got all the DLC. It says Game of the Year edition, and I bought it because of
that's not because it won the award. That's because it was bundled with a bunch of extra shit. It's a financial incentive.
Yeah, have you bought a game because like you read in some like game website at this point? Whoever fucking read game websites at this point? Like people watch
magazines maybe.
Magazines used to be the thing back
to magazine journals, but it's word of mouth. If someone tells me a game's awesome, then I might check it out. That's what happened with Fallout, although I'd already played the original.
And moreover, most of the successful business, which are actually in our context and in context of most of the developers, been built into simple principles. Like it's having a full control over your product and having a direct access to your audience. It's the two things, right? And you have a lot of magnificent examples, like last one being like Manor Lords. I mean, like the guy sold like 1 million copies in 24 hours. For like $30 or something, and he done this game alone at Unreal Engine, like with some friend, publisher, whatever, like that's a good example. And we have a lot of this example over a year being like Pell World and Shrouded, Little Company, like this one, right? Like a bunch of other smaller indie games, like typically being like 300,000 to 500,000 units. Stellar Blade is done by the Shift Up, which is an extremely wealthy company, but this is their first console game. So they're like super rich indie, like can be somewhat qualified. And in a juxtaposition to that, what are the super successful AAA games this year you can remember of? Like I'm like, Oh, not really a lot. You know, like
not anymore.
Number one, really. Well, some Japanese games, Dragon Dogma is probably a success, right? The Tekken probably a success, you know, like, but those are the Japanese games which are not Western industry in general, you know.
And
like,
they have previous iterations that people are fans of, so you know,
yeah,
you have that built-in fan base.
And this is the state of the industry, basically. I mean, like, and my big question is, you know, like, is that so people trying to intimidate other people with their some mythical power and knowing other people? And the other question, like, and or else what? What are you gonna do at this point?
Right.
You know, like, really, like, because this void and this nothingness will become more and more of a thing. Like Coach was saying, you know, like the more economy changes to the minus, the more a bigger issue it becomes for entertainment in general. And I think that the first industry which will collapse super quickly, it's gonna be movies, and it's gonna happen this summer. Because
without a doubt. But this is just to close this topic out. This is a prime example of someone who was smart enough to cut the bad PR press quickly, right? They saw it spinning. They saw it spinning real quick. And this person decided to comment, the CEO, like not even just a regular work, like we're talking about the CEO of the company, decided to comment on multiple different YouTube channels and saying with the same statement, basically saying, hey, yeah, this guy's not involved with our team anymore. We fired him, etc. Because this is a YouTube comment that they're showing on the screen. Like the writer of this article got this comment on his YouTube channel.